In Maracaibo, Venezuela's second city, some of the country's many poor people are queuing to buy food at unrealistically low prices. This is an artificial socialist market created by President Chavez. The subsidies to bring prices down come from oil revenue, and it's one of many government welfare programs.
Milk, margarine, flour, beans and tuna are the things I'm buying, at half the price they are in the shops.
So I ask Omar if he votes for Hugo Chavez and the socialists.
Yes, the opposition says the government is like a dictatorship. If it is, long life to it. This is helping the people.
Omar and his wife, Maria Alejandra, do struggle financially. His job disappeared, their flat is owned by her father, but they're delighted with President Chavez's health care and the free treatment the family's been getting.
We're in good health. We have bread on the table, but we do have problems because my husband is unemployed.
But can PDVSA, Venezuela's state-owned oil company, really pay all the welfare bills? Glossy videos and smiling faces can't hide the fact investment and output have fallen under President Chavez, according to oil industry veterans.
He calls it socialism of the 21st century. Is worse. Why is it worse? Because there's more poor. The middle class is practically gone. All the industries that we had here. You know, more than 6,000 companies have shut down during this period. So if capitalism was unfair, which I'm willing to grant, this is worse. So let's go back to slightly unfair rather than totally unfair.
But that view of Venezuela's oil economy is simply rejected by the president's supporters, who insist he has steered the country through very difficult times.
Por la crisis económica. Como cuando también atravesamos una.
We lost revenues with the falling price of oil in the past few years, but no social welfare program was stopped, and no one lost a single bolivar, despite the international banking crisis.
De unos bancos por razones de especulación, eso no es un problema económico.
And how does Venezuela's opposition react to all that? By making more and more noise. They're on a roll, gaining support, winning votes. This is a local music festival in the Petare district of Caracas, an opposition event on political ground which they now feel they control, part of huge opposition advances in recent elections. More and more Venezuelans don't see their future as a Chavez future. Many of them want the sort of freedoms, the sort of choices which the Chavez revolution seems to deny them.
Yo definitivamente soy optimista con el futuro de Venezuela.
I'm definitely optimistic about the future of Venezuela, in spite of the way those now in power manipulate that power, use that power. Venezuela's future is bright, and I'm sure that we will learn the lesson. More than ever, we have in this country so much inequality, insensitivity, and so many social problems. It is a hard stage and difficult. We are walking through a desert, but in the end, we will reach an oasis, a country of hope and optimism.
Vamos a llegar a un oasis que es un país de esperanza y optimismo.
Libertad, queremos libertad, libertad, libertad.
And that political contest for Venezuela's future was played out around Parliament in early January. The much enlarged opposition MPs arrived to take their seats. But to get there, they had to push through lines of police, separating rival crowds of their own and President Chavez supporters, polar opposites in this sharply divided nation. But this new parliament may simply be irrelevant, as Hugo Chavez fights to ensure another victory for himself in next year's critical presidential elections. He's already moved decisively to make the assembly all but toothless by taking emergency powers for himself instead. And if Parliament has been weakened, so has opposition within the media. Globovisión TV news channel is under constant threat. Dozens of radio stations have already been closed down after criticizing Hugo Chavez and his government, and Globovisión believes its future is in grave doubt.
Some of the people who have come to Globovisión to be interviewed in our opinion programs have also been imprisoned or have criminal proceedings against them precisely because they've spoken their minds. So it's very tricky. You can speak your mind, but you pay a high price.
One of my last meetings is with a really passionate Hugo Chavez supporter. Former guerrilla fighter Lisandro Perez, nicknamed Mao. As we walk through his neighborhood, Mao tells me that Venezuela has always been polarized.
Chavez is the strong man in this country. He leads the process, and the only way he can be defeated is that all the enemy forces conspire together for a coup, an election fraud to create a situation of crisis. However, ordinary Venezuelans who live in this neighborhood will defend the president.
And so I leave Mao and Venezuela more and more convinced that the country is heading for greater and possibly dangerous division. Division over oil, politics, and Hugo Chavez.